That was awesome, man. You really are something else. You kind of walked me through that.
I've made a few videos. All right, guys, welcome back to another video. I'm with Levi today with Boomtown Roofing and Construction. You may have seen him in some of the other short videos that we made recently, but I thought I'd get him over here onto the YouTube channel for a more deep dive into the ins and outs of roofing and commonly asked questions that I've heard, and I'm gonna have Levi jump in and add any other things that he's heard when he's out and about, because roofs are a big part of a real estate transaction. I mean, it's probably one of the most expensive items on a house, so it can definitely be a stumbling block in some cases. But today we're going to come up with some solutions, but also maybe dispel some myths that people have about roofing.
Yeah, there's a few.
But anyway, before we jump into that, if you're new here on the channel, I share a lot of real estate education and home tours. So if you like any of that stuff, of course, subscribe. But with that, though, Levi, welcome back to the social media world of video. We're trying to get him on video more often because, you know, I think you should.
I'm not nervous.
He's just a little nervous.
Appreciate you having me.
So, yeah, just what are some of the things? Well, I guess we should start with who are you? So how long have you been in this position? And then, you know, how much do you know about roofs?
Well, I'm Levi, and I've been with Boomtown for the better part of a year, and it has been very much so like drinking from a fire hose.
Yes.
But learned a lot, and that's why I'm here today, is to kind of dispel some of those myths that you've talked about that I didn't know before I started this gig, and I didn't realize how common they were, but they're extremely common. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, and Levi, if you don't know, so you're basically kind of the marketing person in the sense of you go out and do the estimates when somebody needs a roof. Levi's the face that's going to show up to cop on your roof and see what damage may or may not be there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, I'll start it out. One of the things we kind of briefly touched on is insurance claims.
Mm-hmm.
And we live in Oklahoma. If you're not familiar with Oklahoma, we have an awful lot of storms here. Not so much tornadoes in the Tulsa area, but we do get a lot of hail. And a lot of times people may be tempted to just right away call their insurance, but that may not be the best solution. And I'm gonna let Levi tell you why.
That is not the best. The reason that's not the best is if you didn't need to make a claim, well, now you've got a $0 claim on your insurance. So your premium's still gonna go up. So what I would advise you do, call a roofer you trust, definitely local, and get them out there, have them take a look and find out whether it is worth making a claim or not.
Yeah.
And if it is, you know how to proceed, and they should be able to hold your hand throughout the process and deal with your insurance. If your insurance is underestimating the damage, they go to bat for you.
Awesome. So. Well, yeah, and you don't want to have a ding on your insurance for a claim when it really was maybe just a few $100s, not, you know, I don't want to hit my deductible for something, so small. So do you find that having a newer roof helps with insurance?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Some insurances won't even cover somebody that has a roof that's over 15 years old. And if it is over 15 years old, you can probably expect to pay a really high premium.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is definitely important. And one thing we discuss with people whenever they're re-roofing their house is high impact shingles. Yes, it is a more upfront cost, but the ROI over time, you get that money back and then some.
Right. Well, and maybe your roof lasts a little bit longer, which is great.
Absolutely.
So you would say then that it is more advantageous to make the investment to get the better shingle versus like a. Now I'm not a roofer, but I know there's like 3-tab shingles and different, like what is the difference there?
Awesome. Yeah. 3-tab shingles are really old. we can't even warranty work on them.
Right.
We will help you fix them. We will do repairs on 3-tab shingles, but we can't warranty them. Yeah. And then the next step up is a 30-year shingle. Mm-hmm. And obviously, as most people know, in Oklahoma, it's probably not going to make it 30 years. But it's
definitely not.
But it's still, having a newer roof, like you said a second ago, does lower your insurance premium. And then, like I said a second ago, the next step up is a Class 4 impact shingle, which is, they say, is a 50-year roof. And it's just made with a much denser material and will withstand a hailstorm much better. It's hard to look at a roof and tell a difference between a 30-year shingle and a 50-year shingle or a class 4 impact shingle. If you go to pick up a bundle, you can definitely tell there's a difference.
Sure.
much denser shingle.
Okay.
But
awesome.
Obviously there's tons of variation, colors, and
right.
And that's for you designer types, not for us.
Now, here's something a roofer told me forever ago. They actually make shingles now that have, I believe, copper woven into the shingles that help reduce like mold and stuff on your roof.
Yeah, because over time, the granules are going to deteriorate. And when they deteriorate, moisture gets in there, and that's where the mold algae comes from.
Yeah. If you didn't know, I think copper was an antimicrobial metal, and that's why it helps. Somebody told me that.
That word
random science fact. Okay, cool. Well, what are some of the other things that you've heard when you're out talking about roofs with people, like questions that people have? And we'll go over those.
Yeah, big one right here. Oh, you're not going to cover my deductible?
yeah.
That's a big one. Especially with that last storm we got in May, 2.5 inch size hail, it was a lot of damage.
Right.
The thing with deductibles are, if you ever have a roofing company offer to cover your deductible, run. Run. They are willingly breaking the law.
Yeah.
They're asking you to break the law with them. Of course, they're not going to volunteer this information. And also, to protect yourself, they're cutting into their profit margin. So they're probably not going to use the best materials on your roof. If something goes wrong, there's no legal recourse you can take because you have unknowingly broken the law.
Right.
So.
Right. Very true. And that's where it helps to have somebody like Levi and Boomtown, where you guys really do care about the consumer, because there are a lot of fly-by-night roofers. I mean, I've been in real estate for like 8 years now, and I can tell you there's a lot of roofers that were around and then suddenly they're not. And it's like somebody got sued, somebody was not being ethical or transparent, and eventually it does catch up with them. But I can tell, Boomtown has been around for a good while.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, you guys have like the Oklahoma flag in your logo, so it's kind of like they're wanting to be around for a while, so they're not going to mess. They don't want to do anything that would jeopardize their name, because Oklahoma, while it is, I would say, it's a country town. There's a lot of people here, but there's not that many people here, so like word gets around fast if you make a mistake. Yeah. So I think the integrity is pretty important, and you guys definitely have that. Yeah,
reputation in this business is everything, because there's a lot of competitors, like you just said, and we like to stand on that, being honest, reputable, and just helping people however we can.
Awesome. Well, that probably about wraps it up. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but if we haven't answered some of your roofing questions, of course, comment them below. I can always drag Levi back in here and we can make more videos on the subjects. But obviously, if you're local and you need a roofer, Levi would be more than happy to come out and take a look at whatever situation you've got going on your roof. I'll put all of his contact information in the description, and that's all I got. You want to add anything?
I appreciate you having me.
All right.
Again.
Well,
my guy.
Thanks for joining me. And obviously, like I said at the beginning, if you guys enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Share it with a friend who's maybe having some roofing issues that could really benefit from this information. And I will see you in the next one.